So all this time I was here talking and I had no idea that my video was not being recorded. You know, Uvex. Alright, so hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm sure you already know what we're going to be talking about based on the title. I can't believe that I was halfway through this video not realizing that it wasn't being recorded. Anyways guys, I'm sure that you probably thought that I wasn't going to be making a video today, but I wasn't feeling well earlier, so I decided to wait a bit. I'm feeling a little bit better now. Alright, so this is basically just a little life talk, a little pep talk, while telling you guys a little bit more about myself and stuff that I've done or hope to do. So, you know, ever since I was in high school, one of my goals was always to go to college. You know, my mother's never been to college. A lot of people in my family did not go to college, and that was always one of my main thing. You know, that was always one of my main thing, to go to college and stuff like that. So fast forward, you know, when I graduated high school, you know, I did a lot of stuff on and off. Was just living life, going through the motion, yada yada yada, going back and forth through a lot of stuff. For most people, you know, you would probably graduate high school and go to college, but it was a whole different thing for me. Obviously, I already told you guys that I had my son. I got pregnant a few months, basically for I got pregnant basically 6 months after graduating high school. So of course I was busy being a whole mother and stuff like that. So a couple years went by, and I finally decided to go to college in 2014. Like, I'm somebody who I procrastinate a lot, to be honest. I am very smart and very intelligent, but I'm very fearful at the same time. I don't like to fail, so I'm very fearful whenever I want to do something, whether if I want to take on any kind of project or go on any kind of adventures. It literally gives me anxiety, because my main thing is I cannot afford to fail. So I always procrastinate a lot whenever I decide to do something. So fast forward, like I said, one day I was home in 2014, and I was just basically having a life talk with myself. I was just basically having a pep talk with myself, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time to get up and go to school. I wasn't working. I wasn't doing anything, so I was home every day, all day. And I was like, I think it's time. Because like I said, one of my main reasons for not going, after a while, I was just like, wow, what if I go to school and I'm not successful at what I do? People are going to talk about it. Because I also felt like a lot of people were around me was just waiting for me to fail. That's just how I felt about some of the persons that was in my circle. So anyways, I got up, and I just get up a random day, and I just went to, first I wrote down, I think it was 4 colleges, and I was like there trying to think to myself, you know, which one is closer to me or which one makes more sense. Because, you know, in Jamaica, for most people, it's like they want to go to a particular college because of the name. For me, it was just like, I really don't care for the name, because I feel like it's not where you go, it's what you do. And at the end of the day, if you go to the University of Technology or the University of the West Indies or wherever you go, at the end of the day, we all leave with the same type of degree, depending on what you're studying, right? So fast forward, I went to the University College of the Caribbean at the time. I think the name is now changed to the University of the Commonwealth, and I signed up for school. At the time, I didn't even know how I was going to pay for it because I didn't know what the payment options were going to be. I had no money saved up to go to school. I just decided that it was time. And I went, signed up for school without even telling anybody. I went, signed up for school, and when I was done, that's when I literally told everybody what I had done. I didn't tell anybody initially because I didn't want anybody to tell me that it wasn't the time, or oh, how are you gonna pay for it, whatever. I just didn't want anybody to distract me or put any negative thoughts into my head. So I just took the shot. I went straight ahead, signed up for school, found out that they had a monthly payment plan, so I jumped right onto it and started classes. I was very nervous because, remember, it was my first time going to college. I left high school in 2005. I wasn't doing much. Well, I was working, but I wasn't working for a long time. I think I worked for 2 years the most after I left high school, and then I went to college in 2014. I didn't know what to expect because I've never been in a college environment before, obviously, and whatever the case may be. So I just went in full force and started making friends. First of all, people were still my friends up to this day. I don't regret any of them up to this day. Like, there are still persons that I'm very close to, even though I'm not in school anymore. And to be honest, it was a very good experience. I was doing well in school. I was surprised, to be honest, because like I said, I didn't know what to expect. I'm intelligent, I'm book smart, but I was still fearful. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was doing a bachelor's degree in business administration, and like from the jump, it was just very progressive. Like I can honestly say I was very proud of myself. I was doing well right up until I decided to stop going to school. I did well right up until the very end. While I was going to school, I then decided to start applying for jobs. In my mind, I was like, I can't work full time and go to school. I didn't feel like I was going to be able to manage, but for some reason, I just felt like it was time for me to also started searching for a job. So I was in school full time, and now I took it upon myself to go find a job. So I was applying for jobs. To be honest, I was applying for jobs not knowing that I was going to get a job, because it's very hard to get a job in Jamaica. So one day I saw that Digicel was hiring, because they're always hiring in Jamaica. Digicel is always hiring for the most part, and I just applied. I saw that Digicel was hiring. Oh, Digicel was coming out with a new thing. It was their they were just coming out with their cable internet and home phone services, and they wanted customer service representatives and sales representatives, and I just jumped on the idea of, and I just ran with it. I applied for the job. Got called for the job. At that point, I was like, I wasn't going to go because I didn't want to stop going to school. But like I said, guys, I really didn't think that I was going to be called for the job. But I was called, and then I think it was the following week we had to start training. So I now had to make a decision to start going to school part-time in order to go to the training and whatever. I was very excited because I feel like out of nowhere I just started elevating. I was going to school, now I got a job, and whatever the case may be, I feel like I was going places, I was doing things, I was accomplishing things. So I started going to school part-time, so I would have classes early in the mornings before I go to work, and I would go to training because I think the training was for a whole month. Honestly, guys, at that point I struggled between going to training and school, because during the training we also had to do exams and stuff like that. And as you go through each level of the training, you had to do an exam to go on to the next level of the training, and in order to complete the entire training to be qualified for the position that you applied for. By the grace of God, I luckily completed the training. I passed all the exams. I was still doing well in school. During that time, I also went and applied for my US visa because my US visa had expired, and when I went back to renew my visa, they canceled it. During that time when I was working and going to school, I went back to apply for my visa, and my visa was granted. Like, I just felt like everything was going for me at that time. I don't know, I guess it was just God's will. So I completed the training. Initially I applied to be a customer service representative. However, at the end of the training, they told me that I was going to be a sales representative. I don't know anything about sales, guys, so I was pissed. I'm a very shy person. I'm not very social, so I wasn't warming up to the idea of being a sales representative. But at that point, they were like, that's what we want you to do. And I was like, well, I think I came too far to turn back at this point. So I ran with it. I was a sales representative for Digicel, and that was going well too as well. Like, at that point, everything that I tried was just going extremely well. Everything was just going the way how I wanted it to. I don't know, I just think it was just my time and whatever. So I was working and going to school at the same time. Anyways, I started getting caught up with the job. I was so into the job that I wasn't putting in enough effort into school. But I was still passing. I wasn't failing. I just feel like I was just doing what I needed to do. I wasn't really doing enough, if you know what I mean. And my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband, one day I was talking to him and I was like, I feel like I'm kind of getting tired of waking up early in the morning to go to school and then leaving school to go to work. It was also tiring as well, because when I go to work, the job requires for me to basically stand all day. It's a standing job because you have to be interacting with people constantly. And he said to me, well, to be honest, you could stop going to school, because when you come here, because for those of you who know, I'm now living in the US, is that when you come here, you're probably going to have to start school all over again. So it's okay if you want to stop going to school. And I was like, okay. And I just stopped going to school and just started going to work full time, started focusing more on my job. At that point, I was loving the job, even though that's not what I wanted to do initially, but I started looking forward. I actually started looking forward to going to work because I really loved my job. After a while, you get tired. Then I started getting tired of the job. Like, customers can be annoying, especially when they feel like they're not getting what they want. But yeah, I basically quit school to work full time, and I didn't want to finish my degree, and then when I come here, I didn't want to finish my degree and then not be able to use it when I get here. So I just decided to stop. So now that I'm here, I am going to go back to school. I still have my transcripts, but I don't know if it's going to be accepted here. Hopefully they will. If not, I'm going to have to start my degree program all over again, which I'm willing to do anyways, because I'm adamant about getting my degree. I'm adamant about going back to school and becoming everything that I want to be and aspire to be. I said I was going to tell you more stuff in the beginning of the video, but I don't want to make this video any longer, so I think I'm going to be telling you about my music career in another video, why I stopped doing music and whatever else I was going to tell you. I'm going to save that for our next time. I know you guys were looking forward to that, but I don't want to make the video too long. I didn't even realize that I was talking this long. So why am I always talking this fast. I think it's because I'm nervous. So anyways, guys, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and have a great day, guys.